Mexico E-Prix. The first E-Prix of the season. Are we live? Have I lived us? I think we're live. Let me get the broadcast on. First race of the season. Who is going to win? Is it going to be this man on screen? Pascal Wehrlein. Let me get up the Formula E. Bear with me. Formula. It's not Formula A. It's not Formula B. Do they exist as things? Right. Yes. We are good. We are good. Welcome Chai. Welcome Kate. Welcome Lionel. Andre Messi. Let's go patiently as well now. We need to sort out. There's some... Can you see here? Can you see that thing coming out of the screen? By the way, there's 12 minutes to go till the race. 12 minutes to go. How do I... Why am I not... Hang on, I need to put me. I need to prioritize me for a second. Something we rarely do. Yes! Oh, look at that now! It's basically crisp and clear. So, let's get this on to E-Prix. There we go. Look at this now. Look at us roll. Look at us roll. We here. The cars on the grid, you can see on the telemetry. Flacker's here. Sue's excited. Funky's very excited. Chai is barely visible. Okay, maybe I'm overthinking it. Is everyone watching in 1440p? All the 1440 goodness? Do we put the sombrero on? Have you seen the goodies we've been sent by Formula E? We even got a cocktail. They know about us. It's a bit worrying actually. So, yes, 11 minutes to go till the E-Prix, 35 laps. This is the race. This is the round. It's a one-day thing. It's a one-day thing. And you see we've got the timings here. We've got the map, track map. Got the green flag indicator, all that good stuff. We've got a little bit of fish in the background. Is that loud enough? Do we want it louder? Louder or less loud? Can you hear me? Don't want to overdo it. We got the blog as well. Chaos would ensue. Right, okay. So there is your grid. By the way, there were some grid penalties from free practice 1, and it was a little bit confusing how it was going to apply, because how do you apply grid penalty when you have a semi-final system? Like, who qualified? Yeah. Anyway, it's happened like that. So we've got Pascal Wehrlein on pole position, the man who has won here twice before, I believe. Too loud! Formula E is too loud. You heard it here first. You heard it here first. Naughty Nick DeVries last. Yeah, DeVries is in last place. Do we want to make this white? Do we like that blue band? Or does that look a bit like... Is that a bit basic? Or do we like it? Seti, can someone help? Where do I watch Formula E? Is it only I am watching on TNT Sports 4. They're doing like... There's some fireworks have gone off in the stadium section. That's where attack mode is going to be as well. So attack mode is basically where it says on the map there. On the outside of T15. So normally you wouldn't go around the outside of T15. The apex is on the inside, but got to take your attack modes. The Motorsport Magpie has landed. Jasu's here as well. But yeah, so we've got Pascal Wehrlein, Sebastian Buemi, Max Gunter, Nick Casti, Mitch Evans, Jake Hughes, Robin Frein, Sebastian Van Dorn. Why am I making up names? Stoffel Van Dorn. Fenestraz, Jev, Sam Bird, Mueller, Nato. Jake Dennis, the world champion, is in P14, ladies and gentlemen. This is like Max Verstappen starting the first race in P14. That is exactly what it is. Mortara in 15. Afdak, Anthony Felix da Costa, is all the way down in P16. Jehan de Ruvela, the rookie, has qualified ahead of Sergio Sette Camara, Lucas de Grassi, probably the most experienced Formula E driver ever, Oliver Rowland, Dan Ticktum, and Nick de Vries. So, Lucas de Grassi has won the championship before, and Nick de Vries has won the championship before. They're down on the last 2 rows of the grid. Funky Monkey in the house as well. How are we doing, everyone? How are we doing? For how many people is this your first ever Formula E Prix? For how many people is it your first ever Formula E Prix? I know what we should do. We should put my grid walk videos here, but when it's like gridding up time. Anyway, the drivers are putting their suits on, zipping it up, getting the helmets on, because in 8 minutes we're going to be underway and it's going to be chaos. I don't know who's going to win, but I just know it's going to be chaos one way or another. Sim is me first. Is it your first one? Setiek second E-Prix. What was your first E-Prix? Welcome, Philip Robinson. Philip, we're asking if it's your first Formula E race. Chaya is Chaya's first one. It's Rory Thompson. Who are you going to support? Goodness me. There's no Ferrari in Formula E. Vlatka, first Formula E Prix for Vlatka as well. Well, we need to do a prediction. Chat, let's go through a prediction. Let's run through the drivers then. Sam Bird, who unfortunately didn't go into the duels. He was up there at time to time. He is P11 for NEOM McLaren. So Sam Bird, very experienced driver. We'll see what he can do. And Jake Hughes, who did get through to the duels. I think, unless he's been promoted because of penalties. But anyway, he's starting in P6 for Neil McLaren. So Jake Hughes has pretty handily outqualified Sam Bird. Nick Cassidy, arguably my favourite to win the whole championship for Jaguar TCS. He's in P4, just ahead of Mitch Evans. I think there's been some penalty points involved there. So Mitch Evans, Nick Cassidy, 2 New Zealand drivers for Jaguar TCF. Very strong team. Very strong drivers. I don't know. I think that's a strong lineup. Sebastian Buemi went into the final and couldn't quite beat Pascal Wehrlein. He starts on the first row in P2. Robin Fries, the man who broke his hand here last year, he's in P7 for Envision Racing, so a lot of Jaguar powertrain cars up there. Lucas de Grassi, we spoke about, all the way back in P19. Chat, does anyone think Lucas de Grassi can win another Mexico E-Prix, but coming all the way from P19? Last race season was London. Rory says the DS Penske's. We'll get on DS Penske drivers. Welcome, Rhonda Stewart. Motorsport Magpie says, in with the stats, Buemi has missed 1 race start. Yeah, Buemi missed a race start for WC when he was leading the championship, if I remember. I have various facts in my brain that I've accumulated over the years. So de Grassi is 1 ahead. And John-Eric Verne, if I remember, John-Eric Verne joined in the first season. He replaced someone. I can't remember who. Anyone remember who John-Eric Verne replaced? Because John-Eric Verne was his employment had become available. Let's put it like that. So we've got Mueller here. Where are you? P12 for the app CUPRA. So handily outqualified Lucas Grassi. We'll see what he can do. Sasha Fenestraz up in P9. The faster Nissans. In fact, he's very handily outqualified his teammate Oliver Rowland there for Nissan Formula E. So keep an eye on Fenestraz. Then Rowland, yeah, all the way down in P20. He's returning to Formula E. Didn't he leave Mahindra halfway through last season? Max Günther, who was the fastest in his group, ended up 3rd for Maserati MSG. I think that's a surprise package out qualifying. Honestly, even though Pascal Wehrlein's won it, I think Max Günther is probably driver of qualifying. Does anyone disagree with that? Let me know. And Jehan de Ruvela, the rookie, the only rookie this year, he's down in P17, but I don't think he'll be too disappointed with that. He's out-qualified a few people. Harry, is he showing the live race? Well, no, we're not showing the broadcast footage. That will come after. Mortara in the Mahindra. So he's down in P15. Nick De Vries. Last. There's no other way of putting it. Nick De Vries, but he is a world champion. He's a Formula E world champion for Mercedes EQ back in the day. So he is, you know, he knows how to do this. Sergio set of cameras down in P18. And it looks like it might be a tough season for ERT. Dan Ticktum is on the last row of the grid. So, tune into Dan Ticktum's radio. And then we've got Stoffel Van Dorn, the Stoffmeister, is in P8 with John-Eric Verne in P10. So, the DS Penske team, 2 world champions there, 3 championships between them, I think are not looking too bad. Pascal Wehrlein, surely, well, is he odds on? Because Porsche powertrain, Heuer Porsche Formula E factory team, but he's got a lot of Jaguar powertrain cars behind him. After we spoke about, I think he'll be disappointed there, all the way down in P16. It's a big difference to where Pascal ended up. And Jake Dennis, an issue on qualifying, the world champion, the reigning world champion down in P14, the man who won this race last season, that's him down there, I believe, on the screen right now. And we'll finish it with Norman Nato, who has just about out-qualified Jake Dennis, but not by much. Why is Nick De Vries last? He qualified last. I think he got done by traffic. Is it a 35-lap race or a 36-lap race? It says 35 laps here, but it says 36 laps there. And why are we talking about Jakarta? What? Can anyone explain this blog post to me? Can you see that? What is that? What's going on? Are they trying to trick me? Am I being interviewed here essentially? Welcome Tempo as well. Good to see you. Who won the season last year? I'm actually her son. I don't know, but I'm not following, but congratulations. Yeah, 11 teams. Is Q1 different from the quali battles? Well, we look back at the quali. Way quali works here is you have 2 groups. You get the top 4 drivers in each group, and then they start to go head to head, and then you have a World Cup system. Jermaine Genius is on the prowl down on the ground in Mexico City, and I think there's 2 minutes to go. I think there's 2 minutes to go because the race is starting at like 2 past. 2 minutes past. Maybe, yeah. Like number 20, the likes are coming in. Come on, let's pump up those likes. These are rookie numbers on likes. We know we can do better, chat. We know we can. Looks like pretty full in the stadium section at Mexico, by the way. Pretty full in that stadium. As they're going to absolutely rock it through there. Very tricky entry corner into the stadium. They're not afraid to change the rules, Formula E. Like, the attack charging, the fast charging is going to come in halfway through. In free practice, there were rules changing. They're not afraid to flex it. Yeah, there's people sitting on the concrete stairs in the stadium. And it looks like Usain Bolt might be a late entry into the race. From what I'm saying, Usain Bolt is suited up and he's got a helmet. Is there going to be a 23rd car for Usain? Welcome, George Rogers. Yeah, they're going to... I think Misano, they'll be the fast charging. I mean, that could change everything. That could really change everything. What happened to Antonio Felix Acosta? It just obviously didn't really work for him in qualifying. He's all the way down there in... Where are you, Afdak? There you are. He's all the way down there in P16. He's only probably 6 positions ahead of Usain Bolt. Simpson, he can outrun them. Well, I don't think you can outrun a Formula E Generation 3 electric single-seater racing car, but we will see. Right, so we've got some intro graphics now on TNT. Is it TNT or is it T like apostrophe? Is it TNT? In Mexico City. Wow, the mountains are so close. Rory, looking forward to recharging. Maybe he will change his name to Usain Bolt. Rory, they should hire you. Casey, are you showing the race, just commentating? Casey, what you see here is what we get. What we see here is what we get. I'm not going to press a button and it's going to be like, aha, whoosh, and it's other stuff. Like this is it. This is what we got. But I'm looking at the footage now. Bear with me a second. Bear with me a second here, as we're not underway yet. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. We're not underway. I don't know how I'm going to call this, frankly. I think it's going to be very difficult to call. Hang on. Oh, I know what we need to do. I know what we need to do, everyone. We need to do a nations check. We need to do a nations check, okay? So, for the first time this year, Lamborghini ain't in this. So, for the first time... Oh, this answers the question, Peter. What manufacturers would like to see Formula E in the future? Well, Peugeot probably won't come in because Peugeot are part of Stellantis and DS Penske... DS are part of Stellantis, so there's all sort of motorsport groups are in groups. Love to see Iron Links, though. Love to see an Iron Dames team. Right, nations chat. What nation are you watching from, chat? Chat, what nation are you watching from? Let me know. What country in the chat? Does it still work if we do nations? Does it still work? Right. So, the grid is all ready. All of the mechanics are off the grid. I will probably have a delay on what I'm watching compared to the stats, but I'm going to call it as I see it. Are they going to do a formation lap here, or are they just going to do the bit where they do the little burnout? I don't know. South Africa, Indonesia, Netherlands, UK. Here we go. They're just doing a burnout. There's no formation lap. So what they do is they just do a burnout to check it all out. They smoke up the tyres, and they move forward a grid slot. UK, Canada... Sweden, Croatia, Indiana, Greece, New Zealand. Loads of people all over the house. Right, last people doing burnouts at the back. There's smoke everywhere. You can't see a single thing. Netherlands here, Austria. I think UK's dominating. UK and India. Right, here we go. 2 green lights. How does this work? 2 green lights are on. Usain Bolt is going to do the thing. Usain Bolt's going to start us off. He can't false start this one. Wasn't there a final one, so he false started? Right, we're just waiting now. 5 green lights. Come on. Still, it's a long wait. 5 green lights here. Now it's 4 red lights, 5 red lights, and the red lights go out. Now we're going. Everyone's off. Pascal Wehrlein's had a great start, by the way. It's not the longest run down into turn 1, and Sebastian Buemi is just keeping his position from Max Günther. Is anyone going to get run into the wall? Oh, the Andretti's might have been Jake Dennis that almost ended up in the wall, but everyone's made it through. Pascal Wehrlein on my screen has already eked out a little bit of the gap. The DS Penske's are rolling in formation as well. So, oh, there's a Nissan trying to go around one of the DS Penske's. They might do it. Oh, that must be Sacha Fenestraz on Stoffel Van Dorn, maybe. So Sacha Fenestraz really tried it. He couldn't quite get around the outside. I haven't seen any big contact. Haven't seen anyone looking at wings. I know I'm a little bit delayed at the beginning. Don't worry, that's how it works. I'll catch it up. I just want to kind of see what I'm seeing at the beginning on screen. And then I'll sync back up with you. Looks like Sam Bird has lost a few positions in the McLaren. And Dan ticked him. He went up and went down a few positions as well. But I don't think there's been that many changes for position there on lap 1. Apart from Jake Dennis, a yellow flag did come out at one point. What's the yellow flag for? I'm not sure. But Jake Dennis, you can see, has gone all the way up to P9. And Sergio Sette Camera didn't even start the race. There was obviously an issue for Sergio Sette Camera. The live timing has had some sort of issue here. Don't worry. I'll just wait till it comes back. Is the live timing working on the top left, I'm not sure. But I can tell you what I'm seeing. Going over for lap 2, and Robin Frinjs is going to get past the apt of Mueller there. So Robin Frinjs in the Envision Racing car is moving up. He was well out of position. There we go. Looks like we've got the standings back again. It's struggling. But yeah, Sergio Sette Camera did not make it to the start of the grid. I mean, it's a really bad start from them. Unfortunately, doesn't really get too much worse than that. But there we go. You can see one lap 2. And on your screen there, you can see the cars led out by Pascal Wehrlein. And you can see that gap that he's opened up. So he's opened up a gap of almost a second. But this is where it gets a bit unusual in Formula E, because they only have a certain amount of energy. A bit like Formula 1 with fuel, but it's more intensive. It's more energy sensitive. Does Pascal Wehrlein really want to be that far ahead? And what do you do if you're Sebastian Buemi? Do you try and chase him, or do you just slot back into the pack and start sort of swapping positions and saving energy? Welcome back, Rhonda Stewart. Rory's watching at night. Chat, what do we think so far? Who's that off the back, by the way? Oh, Lucas de Grassi. I think he was the cause of the yellow flag you can see there. So Lucas de Grassi had an issue. He also spun in qualifying, so it's not been an auspicious start for Lucas de Grassi. Looks like it's Jake Hughes who had the fastest lap that race for NEOM McLaren. But there is the grid. It's stretched out more than I thought it would be. I didn't... Oh, someone's in the wall backwards. It's an apt CUPRA. It must be Mueller. It's an apt CUPRA. It is in the wall backwards here. Can you see it on your thing? Where is Mueller? Can you see the number 15? And there's a Porsche as well. It's Anthony Felix da Costa has also pulled over. I don't know if there was contact here. That's standings. I don't know what's going on with these standings then, but I've definitely seen Antonio Felix da Costa limping around, and there was an apt CUPRA. I don't know if it was Mueller or maybe it was de Grassi again. But I'm looking here on lap 3. It's absolute carnage right now. Yeah, you can see that standings must be well delayed. Does this track have a slight resemblance to Hockenheim? In a way, because you have a sort of stadium section. I think you could say that. But I'm seeing Lucas de Grassi is in the pits now. And yes, now it's updated. Now you can see Anthony Felix da Costa is also out. So I don't know if there was contact between those two, but that is huge for the Tag Heuer Porsche Formula E team. And Sebastian Buemi is in the lead. Why? Because Pascal Wehrlein has taken his attack mode. So why has he done that when there's yellow flag conditions? I'm not sure. Maybe he took it just before his teammate crashed out. I don't think you want to really be taking attack mode when there's yellow flag. So there's a swap at the top there on my screen. And I'm having a look here. And oh no, it was Mueller and Anthony Felix da Costa who came together. And there was contact between them. Mueller ended up in the barrier. And obviously Anthony Felix da Costa has got some terminal damage and he's had to pull out. And there was sort of bits of Formula E car all over the track. In fact, have a look at the number 13 at T4. That's where Anthony Felix da Costa has pulled over on the side of the road. And now some of the drivers are taking attack mode. So hopefully, if the standings is up to date, you're going to see people sort of swapping positions. It looks like Sebastian Buemi, yes, has now taken his attack mode. So he goes back behind Pascal Wehrlein. But we're seeing a little bit of a breakaway here from Pascal Wehrlein. So you have to take attack mode twice in the race. And it gives you extra energy. But it does mean you have to take a slower line through turn 15. So it's interesting to see when drivers are deciding to take it. And there we go, P4. Was that Mitch Evans? Yeah, Mitch Evans taking attack mode. And I think you can either do it twice or you can do it in one go. I think there's a button that you press on the steering wheel. You can see some people have, Buemi's in attack mode. That must be all of his attack mode, where some people are taking less attack modes. Brian, is Formula E what these guys do before they get to Formula 1? A lot of these drivers have been in Formula 1 already. I think the majority of the grid have driven in Formula 1 at some point. So it is interesting where it fits in the calendar. It is a FIA, official FIA World Championship though. So Pascal Wehrlein in the Porsche is in P1. And it is Max Günther who is in P3. He's only half a second behind Sebastian Buemi. He's closer to Sebastian Buemi than Buemi is to Pascal Wehrlein. And then we see all of the midfield. Look at all of that midfield track as they're going a million miles an hour. Now the timing is catching up. The timing is catching up here. I'm looking at lap 6 on my screen, so I think it's just syncing up. And who's the number 51 at the back? That's Mueller. So Mueller managed to get himself out of the barrier. It looked like he'd come off worse in that crash, but really it was Aftak, wasn't it? So we've lost Antonio Felix da Costa. We've lost Lucas di Grassi. That's 2 world champions right there. And Sergio Settecambra never even started the race. So the attrition rate is quite high. We're on lap 6 out of 35 already, everyone. And Sebastian Buemi goes ahead of Pascal Wehrlein because Pascal Wehrlein must have taken another attack mode. I'm going to have a look now because I'm looking a little bit delayed on that. Pascal Wehrlein going into the stadium section. Is he going to take the attack mode? Let's see. The camera pans away, unfortunately. But I think that's what's happened. Pascal Wehrlein took the attack mode, went round the outside, and Sebastian Buemi was able to overtake him. But Sebastian Buemi presumably will need to take another attack mode, and then Pascal Wehrlein will try and get back. It is absolute chaos. It is carnage. Rory, always been a little reticent to support Porsche because I was growing up when they were making Le Mans boring. Maybe I can overcome the prejudice. Well, Pascal Wehrlein, I dare say the Porsche powertrain is a little bit of an underdog here. And we have the Jaguar powertrained, is that the right word? Envision Racing car of Sebastian Buemi in the lead now. So now I feel like it is settling down a little bit. Let's go down the order. Here we got Sebastian Buemi, followed by Pascal Wehrlein, Max Günther in P4, Nick Casti in P4. Max Günther P3, Nick Castry in P4, Mitch Evans in P5. So the Jaguar TCS cars are sort of loitering. And actually, if I look at the grid, it looks like Nick Cassidy is sort of being held up potentially a little bit by Max Günther now. And then we've got Stoffel Van Dorn in P7, Jake Dennis, who's gone all the way up from P14, right, to P8. That's why I like Jake Dennis. He just seems to be a cool head in the chaos. So Jake Dennis potentially looking very handy. Norman Nato is Andretti teammate in P9. John-Eric Verne in P10. Sam Bird P11. Sasha Fenitraz had lost out in P12. And then Frinjs moving up. Tickton's moved up from the back row of the grid. De Reuvel's moved down. Nick De Vries moved up. So a lot of chop and change there in the midfield especially. Trying to see where the really short gaps are. Where's the train? I think we might have a Van Dorn train. I think a Van Dorn train, the number 2 car you can see there, is presenting a little bit of a roadblock to the likes of Jake Dennis. So we'll see if Dennis is going to overtake. This isn't related to Mexico, but I still find it crazy that Formula E races inside a building that also hosts a Pokemon World Championship. It is pretty crazy. It's a massive building though. They're making it even bigger. Right, is that P4 stopped on track? Is that the number 4 car? Or is that an issue with telemetry? Is that Robin Frinjs? Is that a telemetry issue or has he stopped on track? I'm going to keep an eye. You can see the number 4 there on the track map is static. So potentially an issue for Robin Frinjs. Did he hit the wall going into the stadium section? I will see very imminently because I'm looking at that bit now on the broadcast. Let's see. What have you done potentially, Robin Frinjs? You had to retire from this race last year. It is a yellow flag. I really suspect Robin Frinjs has crashed again. Hopefully it's not a serious crash like he had last year. That basically ruled him out for a large part of the season through injury. Still haven't seen a replay yet, but I think Robin Frinjs is in big trouble here. Yeah, oh no, I've got to be honest, it looks very similar to the crash he had last year. He's lost the front wing, he's gone straight into the Tech Pro. He's clearly gone in and bounced back. Is he blocking the circuit? Yes, this has to be a safety car. Right, full course yellow. I'm surprised that it's not a safety car, actually, because he's perpendicular to the track. He's gone into the Tech Pro there, and then he's bounced out. Bit of an unusual place to crash. Hopefully he hasn't broken his hand again. Deadly serious about that. Yeah, full course yellow. Get your yellow emojis out in the chat. And who does this benefit? I mean, I'm looking at Robin Frinjs now. Is he moving his hands around? I'm not sure. His team principal... Because this is the reigning constructors team. Scott Elkins, the race director. He's fully blocked that. I'm surprised. How are they going to get through this? Robin Frinjs is blocking more than half of the track at this choke point. Is that right? Or has he pulled... No, he has, yeah. He's blocking more than half the track. I'm amazed that we're not under red flag right now, safety car. I have to say, safety car is out. Safety car is out. Marina's not happy as an Envision fan. Right, I'm looking at a replay now. So Robin Frinjs is making his way through. Someone's taken attack mode. Oh, I think there was contact. Oh, no, no, no. I know what's happened. I think someone was taking attack mode, and as that person has rejoined the racing line, he's just tagged Robin Frinjs, who was overtaking them. That's broken a bit of suspension, possibly. And then Robin Frinjs is a complete passenger. Very heavy impact into the barrier. Left suspension is just completely broken. Front wings come off as well. And Robin Frinjs, I think, is still in the car. I think they need to red flag this. I've got to be honest. Because he's a real choke point. I hadn't appreciated how much of a choke point that is, actually. That part of the circuit. And he is still in the car. Is he in the car? Yes, he is. I think they need to red flag this. I think they need to red flag it. Safety car is out now. They've got another safety car picking up the cars. There's a Porsche Taycan. Yeah, Frinjs is definitely out. By the way, there is a lot of strategy going on right now because some people have taken attack mode, some people won't have taken attack modes. So... dearie me. Frinjs had a terrible start as well. Frinjs lost about 6 places off the start. It looked like he was caught napping. So he was kind of out of position. Well, yeah, I think the barrier is damaged as well because I think he's punched a hole in the Tech Pro. We'll have to see what they decide to do. Is safety car right now. But and I have to say, what I saw before when Jake Hughes had his incident in free practice one, they recovered the car very quickly. In fact, the forklift was by the car before Jake Hughes was even out. So they're probably ready to rev the car. But I hope Robin Frinjs hasn't hurt his hand again. Essentially. So we'll see. The atmosphere is electric, yes indeed. But I think that's what happened here. So you see as they come through turn 15. I think there was a car who had taken the attack mode, was filtering back on the racing line. Robin Frinjs overtaken. I think he just clipped him, and that caused Robin Frinjs to just lose control and go straight into the barrier. I'd quite like to see another replay of it. Have they recovered that car yet? Yes, Robin Frinjs is now out of the car. Robin Frinjs is now out of the car. Maybe there was an electrical issue with the car, so they have LEDs on the car that show them the state of the safety of the electrical energy. And if it's a certain colour, you just sort of hold off, don't touch anything, don't get out of the car. There's no risk to the driver. Harry's saying Gunter's so underrated. I think Gunter... How is it with attack mode? Some drivers will have really benefited here with attack mode. Yeah, it's rotten up front. Gonna have a look here again at a replay. Yes, I'm on board with Frinjs. It was a Nissan who took it. Yeah, I think because he was turning, I think there must have been very slight contact. It would be unusual for him to have not lost it. Looking at the right rear. Well, I think there was. Oh, and the steering wheel moves so violently. I mean, that is 2 Mexico E-Prix in a row where Robin Frinjs has got into the barrier and had a very significant impact with the steering wheel moving around. And but he's out of the car now and he looks okay. Yeah, he's walking now. He's holding his helmet. So they've recovered that car. We are on lap 11. Now, what they may do is they may add laps to the end of this race because they've been driving using less energy. Peter, I hope Sam Bird has a really good season this year. So let's get Robin Frinjs up. This is the driver who unfortunately had the incident. Yeah, Sam Bird. I think everyone would love to see Sam Bird really win a championship. In this case of safety car, does anyone take the risk of AM? I don't think you can take attack mode under safety car, but if you had already taken it, you're going to be basically... It's the way... You're not going to be able to deploy the max energy, so attack mode allows you to deploy more energy, so you're going to lose that, but you don't have to... If you've already taken it, you don't have to lose the time of going to take attack mode again. So attack mode sort of gives with one hand, it takes with the other. Does TNT not have sound? I don't know. I have the sound off on TNT, but I presume they do have sound. That would be unorthodox. So, where we are right now is Sebastian Buemi is behind Pascal Wehrlein is behind Sebastian Buemi, and I don't know. Green flag if we have any more attack modes to those two. So, is it a straight finish now? How many attack modes to go? I'm not sure. Dave says 2 drivers from New Zealand in the top 5. Yes, indeed. That would be... Where are they? Nick Cassidy and Mitch Evans there. So, safety car pulls in. Pascal Wehrlein, P1. Don't why kids are Pascal in P1. Sebastian Buemi in P1. Pascal, you've got to get into P1 so I can just call that correctly. And the field is all bunched up again. I'm looking at the restart now. Looks like there isn't significant damage to that barrier. We're not going to have a lengthy sort of wait for them to slot in a new piece of Tech Pro, as we so often see. Do safety cars make it easier for energy conservations? Yes, absolutely yes. And because of that, they may add laps to the end of the race to say, look, well, you've got to go a bit longer now. There is a formula that they have for that. Thanks, Rory. Marina says, Seb has 2 more attack modes. Marina, do you know what's the word on Pascal Wehrlein? So Seb still needs to go and take attack mode 2 times. And that means if you're... And there he goes, he takes 1. And that means that Pascal Wehrlein's going to overtake him. So it's a bit counterintuitive, but Sebastian Buemi elects to take the attack mode. He takes a wider line to go over the attack mode line. He presses a button on his wall, has to do that within like a second of going over, otherwise it doesn't work. Saw that issue with Jake Dennis last year in London. And that means Pascal Wehrlein goes up the inside. So now we have a situation where Sebastian Buemi is behind Pascal Wehrlein, but he has more energy to use. When will Usain Bolt join? I think Usain Bolt started the race. Jake Dennis took one as well. So Jake Dennis in P10 deciding to take one. You got to play it. And then I'm having... Yeah, Sebastian Buemi. In fact, Max Günther was sniffing around as well. Max Günther fancied a bit of that, but Sebastian Buemi quickly got back on the racing line and was able to hold that P2. So, as the field goes into turn 10, they are going to approach the stadium section. Are we going to see anyone else in that midfield take attack mode? And if so, are we going to see chopping and changing of positions? Remember, it was a 13.2, was it, by Mitch Evans in qualifying, the fastest lap. At the moment, they're doing 15.3s. Here we go in. Any attack modes being taken? Yes, there are. Who are they? Stoffel Van Dorn and Diaz Penske and Norman Nato in the Andretti. So 2 more attack modes in there. And Jake Dennis has done another one, hasn't he? Jake Dennis has gone for the double. So he's decided to take one there, and he's overtaken his teammate, it seems, Norman Nato, if I'm reading that correctly. So can Jake Dennis get any more positions and start to really get his very early stage of a championship bid back on track? And Sebastian Buemi's attack mode is ending now. I'm having a look here as they were going through the stadium that lap. Let's see. On board actually with Sebastian Buemi, who's struggling to keep up with Pascal Wehrlein. Yes, Pascal Wehrlein has almost eked out a second gap on Sebastian Buemi here. I think Pascal Wehrlein means... Let's get Pascal or Pascal up. Pascal means business. Harry's saying that Fenestraz will have a breakthrough season. I think Pascal Wehrlein is not messing around. Every time I see this man at a track, walking around, he looks focused. He looks like he is... He just wants to win. That's the vibe I get from Pascal Wehrlein. So, who else we got? I think Stoffel Van Dorn taking another attack mode, and Jake Hughes taking attack mode as well. Hopefully we get a little graphic that shows us sort of how many we need. And Marina's saying Mitch Evans taking attack mode. Yeah, 6 minutes from Mitch Evans there. Look at the top 4 pulling away a little bit as well. So the top 4 are kind of there. Pascal Wehrlein is our man in the lead, and he is now over a second ahead of Sebastian Buemi. Is he using too much power? You can see on the blog there, Wehrlein was told, just don't overconsume, stay behind Buemi, but maybe Pascal's like, nah, I'm just going to overtake and just crack on, mate. Is that what's happened here? Well, Pascal Wehrlein is just broken free. 1.1 seconds. There is no DRS in Formula E, but you do have attack mode and slipstream. M20 saying Sam got to use his wisely. Sam Bird. How many does Sam Bird have to go? Look at that. 4 cars out of the Mexico E-Prix already. Right, there we go. P3. That is Max Günther takes his attack mode. Does he stay ahead of Cassidy? Yes, he does. No, he doesn't. Cassidy's ahead. Cassidy's ahead. Yeah, looking at the map there. So Cassidy's got ahead of Max Günther as Günther takes the attack mode. Okay. So Max Günther deciding that was the time to do it. And that frees up Cassidy, potentially, to try and get on the back of Sebastian Buemi. I think, yeah. Well, Pascal Wehrlein has been reeled back a little bit here. Neither of the front two are on attack mode at the moment. I'm looking here, yeah, Max Günther took the attack mode and Nick Cassidy was like, thank you very much, I'll have that position. Is Pascal applying pressure? I don't know what Pascal's up to. If you're Sebastian Buemi, you might just be very confident in your plan. I'm looking at a picture of Robin Frinjs now. He looks okay. Much better scenes than what we saw last year. Which you'll see in this replay. You'll see he was driving for CUPRA there. So, who is going to take attack mode this time as we go through? Does Cassidy need to take it? Is Cassidy going to take it? Nope, not that I can see. Who is taking the attack? Look how congested it is now after this restart. Norman Natte's attack mode is coming to an end. Jake Dennis is in P9. And I have to say, yeah, the top 16 drivers are covered by 10 seconds. This kind of says all you need to know. Marina Seb is closing the gap. Pascal was just warned about it. Okay, how are we doing on attack mode, so? What about Cassidy? Is anyone looking really good in attack mode? Does anyone take one just before the safety car? Peter Wehrlein was also this good during the previous 2 Mexico E-Prix, and we can't forget his efforts in 2019 against Degrassi. Was that season 5 when he ran out of energy, Pascal? Do you remember running out of energy? Pascal, do you remember? What are you doing now? He's not listening. He's a second ahead. He's just cracking on. Is our man Pascal? Roy, playing on words, Pascal is a unit of pressure in the meter kilogram second system. Okay, you lost me there. You lost me 3 words in there, I'm afraid. But I am happy for you. So, going into the stadium again, anyone going to pick up? Look at the 3 safety cars dotted around. Keeping a beady eye on proceedings. Anyone else going to take attack mode in that midfield? What about Cassidy? Cassidy is not too far off the back of Buemi as well. M20 says, no way does same thing. Chat, what do we think? Is Pascal Wehrlein going to win the Mexico E-Prix? Put your W's in the chat if you think it's going to be a Wehrlein victory. Let us know. But he is in the lead right now. The man who got pole position in qualifying a few hours ago. What about Max Günther in the Maserati MSG racing car? What a performance that is at the moment. Well, then maybe he's got a lot of tap charge. Kate says W for Wehrlein. Harry Agarwal says W for Wehrlein as well. So we will see as we just go over the halfway mark of the race, everyone. Just go over the halfway mark of the race. See, that was Jake Dennis winning last year. Jake Dennis all the way down in P9. Does he need to gamble? There's a lot of cars ahead of him. Formula E, you just got to send it. Now, what might be happening here is there might be a lot of drivers conserving energy, and it's all going to kick off when one of them decides to go. A bit like you see in Formula 1 when someone decides to do an undercut. Here, how are people looking on energy? Marina, I hope Seb does need to support my team, so supporting Envision Racing. M20 Evans got another minute of Günther. What do you mean? You mean attack mode? How long is a lap? It's about 1 minute 15.3 seconds for Pascal Wehrlein. So, here we go. Wehrlein is maintaining that second gap. Maybe he's just trying to maintain a second gap here. Pascal Wehrlein, we will see. Who's at number 8? That's Sam Bird. Is Sam Bird just dropping off a little bit? Not sure. Might have been a Constantina, but it looks like the McLaren of Sam Bird might just be struggling to keep up with the Andertti of Norman Nato. In fact, the gaps from Norman Nato up are all less than a second. So we're going to go in now to the stadium section where we're going to see if anyone's going to take attack mode again. Having a look down, trying to see how people are driving. I think some people might be conserving energy here. And I'm looking very keenly for the graphic where they show you the energy, because that is the only time, when it comes on the TV broadcast, is the only time the teams see how much energy the other teams have. It's kind of it's a bit of a crazy situation. That's how they roll. Now, is it me or did Norman Nato just elect to take attack mode there? And because of that, has he lost out to Sam Bird? Possibly, yes, because Norman Nato was getting away from Sam Bird. And now, is he going to end up in a Sam Bird train? A Sam Bird Express? Yeah, Nato's taken it. See, Jake Hughes is just managing to keep on the back of the 25 of Johnny Riverne. Johnny Riverne in the DS Penske, I would say, is loitering with intent. 4 minutes! 4 minutes of it, Norman Nato. What are you doing? I'm trying to see here as it comes through. Obviously, the timing struggle there we can see. It's a bit comical on the track map, isn't it? But it is still all really bunched together. Oh, the only one I'll say is Sam Bird, I think is potentially struggling here to keep up. Matthew, anyone else think attack mode should be more powerful? It's just so track dependent, isn't it? It's so dependent on where they put it and the straight. I feel like sometimes attack mode is more of a deterrent, and sometimes it might be an advantage. So maybe the word attack is, you know, it's not always one where you can attack because you lose positions off the bat, but we will see. How's it going at the front? Still Sebastian Buemi struggling to keep up with the speed at the moment of Pascal Wehrlein. Sounds like a Vulcan, that. So you can see, who's at 21? Is that Oliver Rowland? No, that's Nick DeVries. Nick DeVries is 4 seconds off Oliver Rowland here. So a big old gap there from Nick DeVries. Not quite sure. Maybe because of Nick's first race back, but he's a reigning champion. Well, not reigning champion, he's the next champion. But yeah, any questions in the chat about Formula E? Now, ask no stupid questions. Ask any questions about Formula E in the chat. I want to know what the burning questions are. As we go into the stadium again, I see a Jaguar TCS car defending from a DS Penske car. So that's Mitch Evans was having to defend a little bit there from Johnny Riverne. So maybe Johnny Riverne is going to be the driver that goes, you know what? I just want to mix things up a little bit here. Anyone taking attack mode? Don't think so. So Norman Nato, the only driver right now on attack mode. And the gap at the front is still almost exactly a second. Is it Pascal Wehrlein managing this? Or is it actually Sebastian Buemi in the Envision Racing car managing it? I don't know. I don't know. Waiting to see the energy stats come up. M20 saying Debris is off. Snowline in the chat as well, saying Nick Debris. Well, maybe there has been some Nick Debris. We'll see, and that might be why he's so far off it. But the group behind are having a great battle. Tictum, Deruvela and Muller are having an excellent battle there. I think they're just having a lot of fun at the back of the pack. Peter, surprised that Dennis hasn't moved up the order, considering that he's now world champion and Pascal's doing well with the same powertrain. It's difficult in the midfield. It's difficult in the midfield. Jake Dennis has moved up to give him benefit of the doubt there from where he started. But right now, the number one car is... Yeah, he's got to get past Stoffel Van Dorn, hasn't he? So in that DS Penske. So we'll see how he's going to be able to do that. Sim here feels about to turn more above. E-Rob, what about pit stops? Pit stops are coming in Formula E later this season, or returning, I should say. As someone takes 5 minutes. Nick Debris takes it. Nick Debris takes 6 minutes of attack mode there and stays in position. So maybe some good chess from Nick Debris at that moment in time. 23 out of 35, but I would expect us to get some extra laps. I would expect us to get some extra laps here. Look at that gap between Wehrlein and Buemi staying the same. Cassidy and Günther, is there starting to become a little breakaway from the first 4 cars? Maybe the first 4 cars... What could be happening? It could be the case that the first 4 cars are using a little bit too much energy, and then you've got the likes of Mitch Evans sitting there in P5 in the Jaguar TCS car. very close to winning the championship last year, who's just saving energy, and is going to come like a real storm. That could be happening. We just don't know. We just don't know. As the drivers go over the sector marker there into the stadium, is anyone going to take some attack mode? Let's see. Any mode of the attack? Simpson said the gold cars look really cool. Those are the DS Penske ones. M2 NATO only passes Bird with the attack mode. Was it an attack mode overtake? There haven't been that many overtakes in this race, which is quite uncharacteristic of Formula E, isn't it? And I wonder if it's because there's a bit of a zeitgeist forming here, where, you know, engineers saying to drivers, just conserve energy at this point, just conserve energy, don't go back positions, but drive as smooth as you can, lift in, get that regen. There's no rear brakes in Formula E cars. All they have is, well, it's not all they have, it's more advanced. Have the motor does the regen. Which is quite interesting, as the numbers conflate here. What's happened here? There's been an issue clearly for Buemi. 2.5 seconds now is the gap, chat. 2.5 seconds is the gap. That's huge. There must have been an issue from Buemi, but why is Buemi not lost out to Casti then? How is Pascal Wehrlein? Is Pascal Wehrlein saying, you know what, screw the energy, I'm just going to go absolutely to the wall here and see what happens? Pascal Wehrlein is an almost unheard of 2.6 seconds ahead. He has dropped Sebastian Buemi. He has dropped him. And I'm looking here, I'm trying to see what's happened. It's all Constantino behind Sebastian Buemi, but Buemi didn't lose any positions. So, what is happening? Chat, what is happening? Talk to me, chat. What do we think is going on here? It was 1 second for ages, now it's 2.5. Has Sebastian Buemi decided, you know what, that pace is too high, I'm going to sit here with the Casti pack, I'm going to stop spending so much energy because Pascal Wehrlein's spending too much, and I'm going to bide my time. Marina's saying Casti has more energy than Pascal and Sebastian. You've seen the energy stats. What are the energy stats saying? Puchiched saying, come on Wehrlein, could this finally be his year? I like the approach, Pascal Wehrlein. We've got him on screen here. He is the leader of the race at the moment. He was very strong at the start of last season. He has lost a Mexican E-Prix on the last corner before for spending too much energy. I'm not even making that up. You couldn't make it up. Any attack mods in there? No, it doesn't look like it. Oh, Pascal Wehrlein, what are you doing? 2.1 now, so the gap is coming down a little bit. 2 seconds. Has he realised that he's gone a little bit too hard, Pascal? Did he just decide to just go for it? Marina saying Pascal has been told to keep the speed. Pascal, please maintain the speed here. You're going too fast, Pascal. Frinjs says, come on the Kiwis. Yeah, he did literally on that line. So there's lots of people. Is this the Porsche team? Yeah, tag Heuer Porsche. You see engineers with the armbands. They're allowed to touch the cars. So you can get infringements if you have engineers who don't have that who are touching the car. That's designed to keep the cost down in Formula E. Big focus on keeping costs down. 2.1 now. Sim kind of feels like a parade around Mexico now. We want a race. There have not been a huge amount of overtakes yet, but they probably will happen. Because drivers will want to, you know, it's a bit of a wild Torderia. They'll want to get that good momentum in the championship. Yeah, I mean, remember going back to Valencia where everyone other than the Mercedes basically ran out of energy because there were extra laps. Surely everyone's going to remember here that I think there's going to be bonus laps added, right? 1 or 2 bonus laps added. Saw this in London last year as well, with all the red flags. Pascal Wehrlein might be trade. And the other thing you've got to remember is if there's a safety car now, and let's assume Pascal Wehrlein is using more energy, he will basically have wasted that because it'll all bunch up again. So Pascal Wehrlein is trading energy for that gap. However, that gap is starting to come back down. 1.8 now. Gunter and Evans. Yes, it's almost a 2-second gap from Evans to Gunter now. What is going on? I think there's some very different strategies at play here. I think there's some very different strategies when it comes to energy. That is what is going on. Because some drivers are saying, you know what, I'm not prepared to go at that pace. Welcome Obi Gupta. Obi Trice. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Those are the 3 Obis that I know. So, what's going on here? Yeah, 2-second gap still at the top. But yeah, look at the Evans. Great spot at the Evans to Gunter gap there. And then it's sort of, it's packed up behind. So the midfield's packed up. Bonus laps. Yeah, I think there will be some bonus laps. Because theoretically, only 8 laps to go. Welcome Issa R. Back in the house. 24-month membership badge. Can we respect the badge there? 24 months being a member. Absolutely incredible support. And the gap is over 2 seconds now. If Pascal Wehrlein wins this Mexico City E-Prix, that is a very strong marker, I have to say. And it's a strong marker for the Porsche powertrain. It's a strong marker for Tag Heuer Porsche team. It's a very strong marker for Pascal Wehrlein, who is not going to be happy about it. Anthony Felix da Costa, his teammate, is out of the race. Possibly bonus slaps. What are bonus slaps? M20 saying Sam Bird still has an attack mode to take. And Peter saying, how many attack modes does Max Gunter have? I would love to see Max Gunter get a really strong result here from Maserati MSG. But Gunter, if Gunter needs to take one, Gunter's in a pretty good position to take one now and not lose a position, I have to say. So what is going on with the Mitch Evans train? Mitch Evans, Jean-Eric Verne, Jake Hughes, Stoffel Van Dorn, Jake Dennis, Norman Nato, Sam Bird, Sasha Fenner, a lot of really experienced drivers in there. I mean, where are the overtakes? No offense, but it's getting boring. I am surprised there are not as many overtakes, or not. We have not seen that many. So I presume from that the drivers are playing some 8-dimensional chess, and someone like Mitch Evans is going to absolutely explode at some point with the stored energy. Well, not literally, figuratively, with the stored energy that he's got. Because I do agree that there have not been a lot of overtakes. That I do agree with. We haven't seen people sort of going side by side into corners and whatnot. People are playing a different game. Now, this could all change when they bring in the fast charging. Who's at number 33 at the back? Dan Tickton, why are you so far back? Dan Tickton, what have you done to be 20 seconds behind Nico Mueller? Something has happened with Tickton. Iceman says, bonus laps happen if a safety car comes out during the race. Yeah, and that has happened, so we will see. Peter, I still remember watching last year's pre-season testing and thinking that Maserati would be Formula E Gen 3's Ferrari and Gunter would be the Vettel of Formula E. Well, we will see. Looks like you've had eyes on Max Gunter for a while now. And Marina confirming that the Frinjs incident was a collision with Mortara. So it was a collision. Okay. It looked like that. Probably just broke the right rear suspension of Robin Frinjs' car. And he was a passenger. Matthew, could Evans be holding the pack up for teammate Cassidy? I don't think Evans and Cassidy are going to work that closely as a team this early in the season. I sense there is going to be a story in that team of who is the alpha. I've got a funny feeling they might have been friends, you know, since they were kids karting in New Zealand. But as we've seen with the likes of Rosberg and Hamilton and other such rivalries, I think that one is primed to explode. M20 saying, I think Sam Bird is going to take it this lap. Well, let's see. Do you know if Pascal Wehrlein still needs to take one? And if Gunter does, 30 out of 35 laps. Is anyone in that midfield going to take one? It will cause a little bit of chaos if Sam Bird does decide to take it. And he does! You've called it! You've called it, and that means he does lose out to Fenestras, right? Yeah, Sasha Fenestras does get ahead of Sam Bird. It looks like Sam Bird is very close to Mortara. In fact, Mortara has just got ahead. So and Roland has as well. So Sam Bird has really lost out there. I'll try and have a look when I see. Look how close. I mean, Dan Tickton, what are you doing circulating there? Energy levels are very even, it says here. So we will see. I'm going to have a look at the Sam Bird attack mode, take attack mode and lose 4 position strategy. How did that one work out for you, Sam? DS Penske is sponsored by Rolling Stone. Very nice. Peter saying Buemi is actually very slowly catching up, but there's still a longish gap. Okay. Fortunately, I couldn't see a replay of Sam Bird losing about 1 billion positions there. Fortunately for him and the NEOM McLaren team. So here comes Pascal Wehrlein, and, well, ostensibly there's only 4 laps to go of the Mexico City E-Prix, but I think they will probably add on some bonus laps, unless they won't. And I'm surprised we're not seeing a sort of detonation in the midfield, or maybe we have actually, because the number 17 car of Norman Nato has really got ahead, because Sacha Fenestraz has taken his attack mode, and that's released Oliver Rowland. But you can see there are now sort of really 3 packs at the front. We've got the first 4 drivers, then we've got the pack that is led by Mitch Evans, and then we have a pack that is led by Oliver Rowland. How many safety car laps have we had? I think maybe 2 or 3. Fenestraz never took one. I think Fenestraz has just taken it now. So I don't know how many drivers still need to take attack mode. Flash TV, when nuclear powered Formula Series, that's an idea. In the post-apocalypse. Obi, if I was Tictum, I would retire. No, I think he needs to get comfortable with the car and everything. It hasn't been a great round for ERT, let's be honest. ERT Formula E team. Anyone taking attack mode here? No, not right now. So, Pascal Wehrlein is 1.6 seconds ahead. Are we going to see a Pascal Wehrlein, Sebastian Buemi, and Nick Cassidy podium? If we do, I think Nick Cassidy will feel great about that. He's finished ahead of his teammate Mitch Evans, who's more embedded in the team, although he is looking at the back of his teammate from last season, Sebastian Buemi. So I wonder if he's thinking, hang on a second. Why did I come across Jaguar TCS? We will see. Biscuit, we probably only have one. Oh, there we go. It's been 2 laps. 2 boneless laps have been added by the race director, or however that works. So 2 bonus laps. Pascal Wehrlein, there's now 2 extra laps. Pascal's like, mate, I've only got enough for 35. What do you do now, Pascal? Right, so 2 extra laps. Presumably, the teams, because even me with half a brain cell was like, I think there's going to be extra laps. So presumably the teams have anticipated this and accommodated for it in their energy usage. We will see. But what is going to happen now? Does anyone still have an attack mode to take? And can Sebastian Buemi catch up with Pascal Wehrlein? And why is Mitch Evans so off the pace here compared to his teammate Nick Cassidy? What is going on? There's now an Evans train here. M20, if Pascal runs out, that would be embarrassing. Yes. But no, please make sure to hit the like button. If you're enjoying the stream, enjoy the watch alongs, hit the like button. If you like Formula E or like these streams, I know we can get to 100 likes. Would be absolutely great to see. We've already had 2,000 people pass through the stream, which is amazing. And yes, so what are we on? Lap 34, lap 37. It's 1.6. Pascal Wehrlein is looking ominously good. You look at the Pascal Wehrlein here and you're like, how did you not win last season? When a Porsche powertrain Jake Dennis, who's now in P9, won the championship. But that's Formula E. That's Formula E for you. Although I have to say, it has been in the midfield so far, and there's only 3 laps to go, relatively straightforward. We haven't seen the usual swapping for position for this race, and I'm interested to work out why, and I will analyse that, and I'll use the footage, and I will let you know in a video, unless it's all going to explode now, and then we forget. Peter, it's been a while since Buemi won a race. He'll be very happy if he manages to overtake Wehrlein for the win. I'm not sure Wehrlein has this. By the way, what lap times is Dan Ticktum doing? Look at the lap times. Dan Ticktum just at a 1 minute 20. Dan Ticktum might be having a very bad race here. Rory, it's too early. Like, if you're Mitch Evans, why on earth would you do that? Honestly. Like, I'm just putting it out there, but why on earth, if you're Mitch Evans, would you be like, oh, go on, Nick, mate, you crack on. I'll just be a rolling roadblock for you. I don't know. 35 out of 37. Is anyone close to running out of energy. Tictum wins because everyone else runs out of battery. If Tictum wins, I think you need to change your username to Tick Salatic. Is Dan Tictum going to present a challenge here to Pascal Wehrlein and Sebastian Buemi? I don't know. I think Mitch Evans maybe set up. I don't. Very interested to see what Mitch Evans has to say after this race, because obviously the Jaguar powertrain is strong, albeit it's not the one in this race, and I think that's great news for the championship. Is that we have 2 different powertrains in the top 2 positions. I'm looking now at the footage of the Mitch Evans train, and it's a long train winding through Mexico City. And Jean-Eric Verne is being very patient, frankly, being behind Mitch Evans here. Rory, you never know. Yes, you do never know. Iceman, hope this doesn't end up like Valencia Season 7 where almost everyone lost power. Well, let's see. So, we're on lap 36. We're about to go on to the last lap, everyone. Oh, 79 likes. 21 more likes and we hit 100 likes. If you're watching and you have not yet deployed your like, feel free to deploy that like. Hit that like button. Smash that like button right now. I can see you. Smash it. Get onto 100. Yes, Safari is still here. So, 1.3. It has come down a little bit. The last laps were very similar between Buemi and Pascal Wehrlein, although Pascal Wehrlein was 0.3 slower in Sector 2 that lap. Okay. Oh, I'm looking at energy. Pascal Wehrlein has 1% less than Sebastian Buemi. Jake Dennis has 3% more energy than Pascal Wehrlein. It makes no sense. That makes no sense. Jake Dennis, why do you have 7% energy going on to the last lap? Dan Tictum's cruising around with 9%. If they add on more laps, then, you know, Dan Tictum's looking, he's in the gravy. But this is it. I think this is the last lap. It's the last lap right now, and the gap is 1.4. Welcome, Amy. Welcome, Alicia. 1.4 between Pascal Wehrlein and Sebastian Buemi. But we've had this man on the screen for most of the race because, frankly, it's been a bit of a masterclass from Pascal Wehrlein. And there's been a few mysteries here. Oh no, they just swapped up there. I thought maybe Jake Hughes had gone past on the event, but he hadn't. So as we come through the stadium section for the final time, Pascal Wehrlein, 1.2 seconds. Is he going to run out of energy over the line? Is he going to Pascal it? We will see. I mean, a man literally named after a unit of energy you think would have a good intuition for not running out of the stuff. But we'll have to find out here. Let's see. Let's see. Pascal Wehrlein does get over and does win the Mexico City E-Prix. It's that simple for Pascal. It is that simple. Well done. And Sebastian Buemi comes in P2. And P3 is Nick Cassidy. And by the way, Max Günther in P4. What a drive there. And how was no one able to overtake Mitch Evans? That is a real mystery as to why that midfield stayed very consistent. I want to work that out. Chat, you know what to do. W's in the chat if you were supporting your man Pascal. Pascal's Lemons is fine. Marine says, nice one, Seb. Poochhead W. Kate's got the celebration now. Yeah, and Jake Dennis going over the line with still 3% energy. Pascal Wehrlein went over the line with 0.2% energy, I believe. So the Tag Heuer Porsche team got that perfectly. And I think Tag Heuer Porsche mean business here. They mean business. Apple Tree says GG Pascal. Iceman's got the dub. Rory Thompson, well done. Poochhead W. Vongs has got the C out. Was that a mishit on the keyboard there? Chai, congrats to Pascal. Oh, Magic W. Biscuit, my idol one. Lordy for now, but we'll lose it as Wehrlein got a technical review on his car. What do you mean? What do you mean? Yes, we will stay here in case there are some reviews of energy and such like. But I think it's an interesting story as to how... But that grid is pretty similar to the way we kicked off the race. That's not something you often say about Formula E. Are batteries better these days? The batteries they just keep getting better and better, as you might expect. George says, well done, Pascal Wehrlein. Yes, indeed. Pascal Wehrlein firing on all cylinders in a Tag Heuer Porsche Formula E team firing on all cylinders is a pretty damn scary combination for anyone to come up against. No worries, Matthew Cunliffe. So let's see what goes on now, if there's going to be any drama. Jermaine Genius will have the inside line for us as they go through the stadium section. Are the cars going to pull off? Do they do the presentation in the stadium? Yes, they do. So Pascal Wehrlein pulls off, Sebastian Buemi pulls off, and Nick Cassidy, who I think is my favourite for winning the championship. Well, he was. If anyone was doing the predictor league, then you can see. Did Evans have damage? Something is going on there with Mitch Evans' car, because that man is... He's very feisty in a Formula E car, and yeah, he's not normally a driver you'd see sort of like leading a train, put it like that. Lordy, both Dennis and Wehrlein getting reviewed after the race for technical infraction, so that's coming through from Lordy91. Well, what do we know what that's about? Is it on the thing here? Is it on the... It's not on the blog. But do we know what that's about? Can we get through to Jermaine Genius? Sim Wehrlein had a good drive. Yes, he did. He gets out the car quite gingerly. And then he punches the air to celebrate in the stadium. It's like a full grandstand there in Mexico, which is awesome to see. And then Sebastian Buemi and Nick Cassidy, who weren't exactly, I think, best of friends at the end of last season, it's fair to say. 100 likes just hit. Thank you so much, everyone. That is incredible. 100 likes on a Formula E stream is pretty crazy. And we've got a long way to go on these watch-alongs. And also want to go to the tracks as well. Johnny Verne with a smile. Oh, it's just some B-roll from the beginning of the race. Matty Shaw saying Jake Hughes did so good getting 7th best. Yeah, I think a bit of a word there for Jake Hughes. And also, I reckon both DS Penske. I think the DS Penske's, the McLaren of Jake Hughes and Max Günther are going to be very, very, very happy there. Very happy. Having a look here at the two Jaguars, is there any damage to Mitch Evans' car that I can see? Not that I can see, to be honest. Not that I can see, so I don't know what's gone on there. Welcome Branjamin, Jessica Moss, and damn music as well. Thanks Sim. Remember, if Dan Tickton wins, you have to change your username. Oh, there was an app CUPRA that had the rear red light swinging around on the back, which I saw at London last year. It seems to pop out and it just swings on the cables. Blacker, welcome all subscribe to yes indeed. Yes, Char, we're gonna be doing both. We're gonna be doing everything. Again, I'm looking aboard Mitch Evans. Front wing looks okay to my eye. Having a look here, is the front wing okay? I mean, it's wobbling a little bit, but I think that's just normal flex you see in slow motion. So I'm not sure there's anything wrong with Mitch Evans' car on the outside that I can see. Right, what is this issue with Pascal Wehrlein getting investigated and Jake D? Because if I'm Pascal, I want to get that ceremony done, lift the trophy, then it feels a bit harder for them to take it away. Simpson, if he wins the championship, I'm Talecton. Well, where did he... Well, he didn't finish last year. He finished 18th. Well, there was a cool 1 minute 14 behind. He was almost exactly a lap behind. I don't know if he has some damage or something, because did it look like he did a 1 minute 20 on the last lap as well? Nick Cassidy and Sebastian Buemi in conversation. By the way, this is a cap. This is the cap that they are wearing. So I guess this is a cap that you get if you are on the podium. So next time I go racing in my championships, I'm on the podium, I'm going to put this on. That's what we're going to do. Where'd that cap go? Well, we've been informed by Lord91 that Pascal Wehrlein is under investigation for a technical infraction, and I wonder if it would have been something in the safety car period. because we saw a lot of teams getting penalties in the red flag period on Monday. So maybe there's been some new directives that people are not that au fait with. Nick Cassidy with the fast lap of the race, by the way, in P3, was the only driver to get in the 14.7s, but he was quite a bit quicker than anyone else. Do you think that Cassidy will win the championship this year? He's still probably my favourite, although I reckon Wehrlein is very close. Sebastian Buemi's walking around looking a little bit confused. Maybe he still thinks he might win this. Yeah, F1 starts in March, right? F1 starts in March. And now Sebastian Buemi having a good look at the rear of the Tag Heuer Porsche Formula E car. So I don't know if there's a little bit of a delay here to the ceremony, or this is normal, and or whether Pascal Wehrlein's technical infraction is being heavily investigated. Keep an eye on the standings there on the left-hand side. 46 days. Iceman, if Buemi wins, it'll be his first since I think Season 5. Well, he was in the running to win Season 2, wasn't he? It came down to the last race at Battersea Park, where Lucas de Grassi crashed into the back of him, and then they had to come out and try and do the fastest lap, didn't they? It's all a bit cool, got a bit interesting, that. Max, why is Wehrlein being investigated? Technical infraction, I understand. I understand it's a technical infraction. Vings, who do you think wins manufacturers? Well, I would say Envision would have looked strong, but Robin Frinjs obviously had a bit of a disastrous race. Very hard to look past Jaguar, who will be in the lead here. So very hard to look past Jaguar. It's February now, F1 starts. Goodness me. And then there will be some overlap. There'll be some Formula E, some Formula 1. Pascal Wehrlein has been spoken to by some FIA delegate in a white shirt. So, what is this? I love the stadium section. I really like it. I've spoken about it before. I just love the concept of it, that you get the cars in there and you slow them down. And you get to see it from all angles. Porsche is put. How can Porsche be leading the team standings? That doesn't make any sense. Surely not. Unless they are. Unless they are. Unless Pascal Wehrlein's got more points than Cassidy and Evans put together. Ooh, maybe you're right. Maybe that is. Antonio Felix da Costa, in that issue with Nico Mueller, wasn't it? At the beginning, in the app CUPRA. I need to have a look at that again and see what happens. Pascal has lost race wins by not this one. Well, let's be clear with the language. Do you mean in the past, right? In the past. There we go. Pascal Wehrlein and Dennis are under investigation for a technical infraction which will be investigated after the race. Goodness me. Our inside info from the chat was 100% correct. Did Nick finish 15th? At the moment. Pascal, get your trophy. Get your trophy quickly. Get your trophy quickly, Pascal. What is this? Technically, I have a funny feeling it would be either grid start procedure, like a mechanic not moving off the grid, or something around the safety car. Like using too much energy on the safety car, or they did the full course yellow or something. That's my hunch. Sebastian Buemi has got a very wistful look in his eye, like he knows that we might be fading out Pascal Wehrlein and fading in Sebastian Buemi. Would I go to Formula? I am going to Formula races this year. I'm going to interview people and take videos and do watch-alongs there. So, lots of that to look forward to. In fact, let me know what races you would like me to go to. George Rogers is not a fan. Iceman, they could appeal. Well, normally the technical ones are a little bit, touch and go. And there we go. Johnny McVerde surpasses 1,000 points. He's the only driver, isn't he? I know he's not. He's not the only driver. Degrassi's already done it. He's a second driver to get 1,000 points. John O'Reilly, T.S. Penske. Marina smiling on the inside. Nick Cassidy is looking very coy. Could Nick Cassidy get promoted to P2? And the man who was very realistic about his chances, he really underplayed his chances for this race. He's my favourite. Nick Cassidy, I think it's Cassidy's year. I really do. And maybe Mitch Evans is going to play wingman every race. We will see. Okay, says Monaco. Who wants to see us go? Incredible hardship to have to go to Monaco. Having a look here, Cassidy off the line, and yeah, what I'll do is I'll do a highlights video because I'm going to get the broadcast footage and I'll cut them into the overtakes, and I might try and work out and explain why we haven't seen that sort of carnage in the midfield of cars chopping and changing. I don't know if they just thought that there's no point wasting the energy. Let's see how many bonus laps there's going to be or something. Or maybe we need to work together to try and catch up. So Pascal Wehrlein now is going to get in a 4-door Porsche Taycan, I think, or Panamera. Oh, David Coulthard's driving it. Watch out, everyone. David Coulthard is driving the Porsche. I've never seen this before. David Coulthard is got all the drivers in. And he hasn't put his seatbelt. David, he hasn't put his seatbelt on. Pascal Wehrlein has. Very sensible. Yes, that is David Coulthard is now driving the drivers around. They did a quick little interview in the stadium. I presume the trophy celebration can be somewhere else. So David Coulthard is now doing an interview. This is actually very cool, to be fair. They're doing an interview in the car. The drivers probably feel quite relaxed. They maybe don't realise quite how many cameras there are. And David Coulthard is chauffeuring them and interviewing them. It's a pretty cool deal, I've got to be honest. Sebastian Duhamel slaps David Coulthard on the back and then covers his mouth like that to say something. I'm not sure Sebastian Duhamel knows that he's on camera. Because he's trying to cover his mouth like, I don't want to let him know what you're saying. So we'll have to look at that one back. Clip that one. But what is going on? Is it going to be an iconic moment where David Coulthard tells... Is he going to tell them in the car that there's the investigation? Is that what's going to happen? We will see. Now that on my screen, it looks like the cameras from the car have paused. They're sort of shaking everyone's head like this, like one frame back and forth. So we're cutting away. There's a huge crowd for the trophy ceremony, which is on the stage where the acts will play. And normally what happens is the drivers actually run through the crowd, if you haven't seen it before. Sort of like a music festival. Marina Porsche is number 1 on teams with 28 points from Pascal's win. Then Jaguar 26 and then Envision 3rd. Wow. Wait. Imagine if Afdak or Robin Frinjs had been up there. Their teams would no doubt have been dominating the team championship. Peter Glatty, Hughes and Gunter did well in this race. We'll see. So the race has been classified right now as Pascal Wehrlein winning by 1.1 seconds over Sebastian Buemi, with Nick Cassidy in 3rd, Gunter in 4th, Evans 5th, John O'Reilly 6th, Jake Hughes 7th, Stoff Van Dorn 8th, Jake Dennis 9th, and Norman Nato 10th. But this is all subject to this technical infraction investigation that is going to conclude after the race. And Nick Cassidy, I think you can see there in the blog post, he's still not super... Oh, we need to... that would have been a good one to have Wehrlein. Let's get Wehrlein back up there, because he is the race winner in the classification. So, not sure what's going on now. I think it's going to be trophy ceremonies. We'll need to work out what happened with Sergio Sette Camera, who has flown out all this way with the ERT Formula E team, did qualifying, and for some reason was unable to start the race. It's a very sad story there for Sergio Sette-Camera. Matty, I think, is Evans' year because 3 years he lost the title. But why did Evans struggle here so much? It must be... I need to find out and I'll let you know. But there must be some sort of issue. There's Robin Frinjs having his crash last year where he broke his hand. Unfortunately, he also crashed this year. So no points for anyone P11 downwards, unfortunately for them. The search goes on in Diriyah. And the fans are ready here to see the drive. Where is David Coulthard taking them? Oh, they're here. They're at the Saudia boarding gate. Okay. And there is a representative from Tag Heuer Porsche there as well. That random F1 did, I missed the race. Don't worry, you can rewind it. It's going to be hard not to spoil it now as the engineer from the Tag Heuer Porsche team runs down the crowd, getting some high fives. It's just like Glastonbury. Jogs up. It's quite a run, to be fair. It's a good 40 metres. You got to sprint. The classification is on the screen, my friend. So there we go. He's wearing a very nice Tag Heuer Porsche gilet. Next will be Nick Cassidy. He will run down, sprint down from the Saudia boarding gate. Here he goes. Fist bump. Runs down. Can there be any high fives? Where's the camera? Yeah, some high fives there. Gives him to the right side of the crowd because the crowd is spread too far apart. You'd have to be like doing those pillar things in World's Strongest Man if you wanted to touch both. Nick Cassidy goes there and goes on to the third step of the podium. Little handshake with the representative from Tag Heuer Porsche. Basically, remember Pascal won double Diriyah last year? Well, Pascal could be having another rocket start to the season. And here comes Sebastian Buemi. He starts to sprint. Is he going to go left? Is he going to go right? He goes right as well. Oh, no, and he goes left. You never know. And then he goes right again. He's getting high fives on both sides. You never know what to expect with Sebastian Buemi. He can go left. He can go right. Turn of pace there from the Swiss. Celebrates the dignitaries, the Formula E luminaries there. And we'll take the second step on the podium. Matty, I love it when they do the high five to the fans. Can he do it again, you think? Who, Pascal? Definitely. So Sebastian Buemi's now on. What is going on with the investigation? Right, here he is. Pascal Wehrlein is at the Saudia boarding gate. Fist bumps to the camera, starts the jog. Is he going to go left? Is he going to go right for the fist bumps? Go left. Now a bit to the right and now to the left. Finishes on the right-hand side. Runs through. Fist bumps both sides. He's getting jumped in the air by his mechanics. They've abducted him. It's sort of a Gregorian sort of a jumping circle thing. Sprints onto the stage. Fist bump by Pascal Wehrlein. Hugged with the Formula E luminaries, the bosses. And it's a bit like what you can see. It's sort of like that. So I think it might be a different champagne sponsor. And shakes hands of a few more people. A lot of shaking hands. Goes on to take the first step. I know how it feels. I never know how to... When I'm on the first step, I never know how to celebrate. I'm always like... I never do like a... I need to do like one of those. And now the crowd sort of comes in a bit closer. It's... national anthem time. So the German national anthem here for Pascal and presumably for Porsche, Tag Heuer Porsche as well. So it's double German. Maybe just one anthem. Is Pascal Wehrlein going to dominate Formula E this season? And what does it do for his stock if he does? Very highly rated driver. Tag Heuer Porsche Formula E factory racing driver. Multiple time Formula E race winner. Things look ominous. Matty Shaw says, yes, things look ominous. I think Pascal's looking good. I think Pascal is looking pretty dang good. I just want to see what's going to happen with the champagne. I want to look at the champagne technique. Another thing I'm not very good at. Iceman, yes, maybe he gets a WC role for next season as a reward with Porsche Penske. Doing a double season. Right, George Abad, who is the president of the FIA Circuits Commission, he gives the third place trophy to the Tag Heuer Porsche representative. And what's going to happen now? And there's a young girl here, Amy Sophia Saria Carsanu. Girls on Track gives the third place trophy to Nick Cassidy. Sorry, that was Constructors that was given out to Tag Heuer Porsche. Return to F1, we'll see. You never know in Formula E, that's the thing. Mike Mustafa, I didn't see who he's from, but Mike Mustafa goes up and gives the P2 trophy to Sebastian Buemi. Both hands in the air, the sparks are flying there. Good start to the season for Sebastian. I don't know if he's doing a WEC program this year. I presume he is. I'm not sure who for, though. And finally, Mr. Inu Choi, president of HANKOOK Latin America, gives the first place trophy to Pascal Wehrlein. Sparks, smoke, the lot. It's all happening. And now it's time for the champagne. And there we go. Big ball champagne, Mexican flag in ticker tape, green, white and red in that order. Very nice. That'll be in the newspapers in Mexico tomorrow. Iceman, both Wehrlein and Da Costa. So Tag Heuer Porsche taking it very seriously. And I wonder what that will mean, given that there are clashes with Formula E and WEC this season. Pascal Wehrlein and AFDAC 100% focus. Pascal Wehrlein gives his champagne to the Porsche representative. Tag Heuer Porsche representative, I should say. Biscuit Noodle, what is happening with technical infractions? One, there's nothing on stage. There's some very large balloons have been released into the crowds. Again, it's like, oh, balloon. Pascal Wehrlein's almost been taken out by a Formula E balloon there. Came hurtling across. Almost. Gee, whoa. Oh my goodness. The balloons are going mad here. Photographers have been taken out. They've launched these balloons into the crowd. And all hell has broken loose, frankly. They're sort of like large beach balls with the Formula E logo on them. But yeah, technical infraction, I don't know. I do not know. But it would be very weird if right now it was to come out that, sorry, Pascal Wehrlein, because of X technical infraction. Thing is, I don't know if it would be a fine, or if I don't know if it would be a fine and or position place. We'll have to see. TNT Sports are showing some B-roll now. As I say, yes, a hype track for Diriyah, which is going to be the next race. Different circuit, street circuit. So we'll see how that's going to be. 2 rounds there as well. So double header. That's on the 26th and 27th. I'll either be doing a watch along or I'll be there. So either way, we'll be covering. Jermaine Genus now giving us the inside line. But yes, chat, right. So there we go. That's our first watch along. Over 3,000 people have come in the stream, which is incredible. Thank you so much. Over 100 of you have left a like. Incredible. Thank you so much. It's been great. It's all worked. And we'll get some tweaks for next time. We'll get a bit more footage, I think. We'll up the graphics and whatnot. Maybe I can have in one ear, I can have the race feed so I can let you know what's going on. Get Tom Brooks inside me for the audio. And yeah, 2 weeks time. We'll be back in 2 weeks time for a double header. So that will be a Saturday and a Sunday. Double header. And yeah, I'll speak formally. Let me know, by the way, in the comments of this video or in the Discord, let me know any feedback you have, any stuff you think we can add. Let me know. I can go back to Formula E and say, hey, it'd be really cool if we could have this. They're massively supportive of this whole thing. They think it's really cool. So No worries, Marina. Thank you for joining. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Marina, Matisor, Kate, Poochiehead, Vlatka, Voons. We got some experienced heads in here, and we got some new joiners as well. You'd love to see it. Random F1 Dude, Biscuit Noodle, Iceman, JS, Peter C. Thank you so much, everyone. Robert Evans as well, with the spider in the thing. And yeah, keep an eye out for the classification, because anything could happen. Thanks so much. 100 people still watching. Oh, by the way, I will be doing Formula E content. So in a couple of days' time, you can expect some really, hopefully nice, curated Formula E content coming out on this channel. Talking about the race, stuff we're looking forward to, things we might not have appreciated, blah, 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 blah. So all that stuff is coming. Appreciate your support. And yes, have a very nice weekend. It's Saturday. Have a good Saturday night, 9:30. Enjoy yourself. And I'll see you around on the channel and the Discord. Had a really fun time. Our first ever Formula E pre. Crazy. Official. Genuinely official. Thank you so much, everyone. See you next time.